Hello everyone. In this electrostatics lecture, we are going to learn about electric lines of force and electric flux. So normally we have studied about point charges, then their electric field. When there will be point, it will give electric field around that point charge. So how we get aware about it? There are some influence of that electric charge. So to introduce this or to study about this visualization of electric, as well as if we consider magnetic field, we have to consider that magnet having some magnetic field around it. When there will be south pole, north pole, then it will give some lines of imaginary lines of that field. So that imaginary lines of forces for particular field has been introduced by the Faraday. And this electric line of force is an imaginary curve. It is what? It is just imaginary curve, and this imaginary curve will give direction for the field. That field will be electric field. That direction will be along the tangent drawn to the point on that curve. So where that point or tangent will show the direction, that is the direction for the electric field. So everyone got this? When there will be electric field or magnetic field, they will give some influence around it. That influence has been shown by the electric lines of force, and it is introduced by the Faraday, Michael Faraday. Then further, a test charge is placed in an electric field. It would be acted upon by a force at every point in the field and will move along a path. Okay, the path along which the unit positive charge moves is the line of force. The path along which the electric positive charge or unit positive charge move, it is line of force. Okay, a line of force is defined as a curve such that, like this one, a curve. Line of force is defined as a curve such that the tangent at any point to this curve gives the direction of the electric field at that point. So direction for electric field will be along this one, vector E, that is electric field. Point charge will be here, this tangent is drawn to it. So this is the direction for electric field, and it is a line of force for that particular charge. The density of this field lines indicates the strength of the electric field at the given point in space. So density, that means number of charges will give number of line of forces. So density will give the field lines, and as number of field lines are more, strength of electric field will be more. Now we have to study about its characteristics. So there are normal characteristics for this line of forces, electric lines of force. First one, as we know, when there will be any battery, this battery will give its function starting point at the positive, and suppose if you are taking any bulb along this one, then it will end on the negative terminal, right? So same for the lines of force. The lines of force originate from a positively charged object and end on a negatively charged object. Okay, then second characteristic, the lines of force neither intersect nor meet each other. As it will mean that electric field has two directions at a single point. What is the second characteristic? That line of force neither intersect nor meet each other, like this one. They will flow in along its own direction. They will not meet each other, as electric field has two directions. That means its positive starting point will be positive and end point will be negative, but they will not meet to each other. Then third characteristic, the lines of force leave or terminate on a conductor normally. That lines of force leave or terminate. Terminate means it will vanish at D on a conductor only. Okay. Then fourth characteristics, the lines of force do not pass through conductor. That is, electric field inside a conductor is always zero, but they pass through insulators. Characteristic of this lines of force is they will not or they do not pass through the conductor. When there will be any conductor, it will pass the electricity, but line of force, electric line of force will not pass through the conductor. It will pass through the insulator. Keep in mind. Then fifth one characteristic, magnitude of the electric field intensity is proportional to the number of lines of force per unit area of the surface held perpendicular to the field. Magnitude of this electric field means whatever the value of electric field is proportional to the number of lines of force per unit area of the surface held perpendicular to the field. That means when there will be any surface area, from this particular surface area how many number of lines of forces are passing, on that its magnitude of electric field will depend. Then sixth characteristic, electric lines of force are crowded in a region where electric intensity is large. Electric lines of force are crowded in a region where electric intensity is large. Seventh characteristic is electric lines of force are widely separated from each other in a region where electric intensity is small. Crowded means from small area there are lot of number of lines of force are passing. So that is crowded area. That time its intensity is large. Okay. But when there is large area and very few lines of electric lines of force are passing, then its intensity gets small. So got it? When there is for small area number of lines are more, then intensity is more, and for large area lines of force are less, then intensity is also small. Then eighth characteristic, the lines of force of a uniform electric field are parallel to each other and are equally spaced. Lines of force of an uniform electric field are parallel. When there is a uniform electric field, that lines of force are parallel to each other and are equally spaced. The lines of force are purely a geometric construction which help us visualize the nature of electric field in a region, and the lines of force have no physical existence. So from these diagrams you will get that physical existence. So from this we can show this lines of force due to positive charge. They will look like this one. These all are imaginary diagrams. Then in B, lines of force due to negatively charged. So when there will be positive, its direction will be in outward direction. When it is negative, that will inward direction. Then lines of force due to opposite charges. So due to opposite charges at plus, positive, negative, they will get gather and again move on. Then in D diagram, lines of force due to similar charges, that is positive positive, they will repel each other at that point. Then negative negative at center, it will repel to each other. Then in E, lines of force terminate on a conductor. Terminate means they will end on that conductor. Then F, it is intensity of a electric field is more at point A and less at B. That means as area increases, at less area more intensity. As area increases, that lines of forces get separate out and widely separated to each other, so intensity is small. So these are the diagrams of lines of force due to various geometrical arrangement of electric charges. So common factor in that is what? When there will be positive charge, it will start that electric lines of force. When there will be negative charge, it will end on that electric lines of force. When there will be same charges, they will repel. When there will be conductor across conductor, they will end on or terminate. When there will be opposite charges, they will gather to each other and again separate out. When there will be small area, they will give more dense intensity. As area increases, intensity becomes small. So these are the factor about lines of force, which are geometric construction which help us to visualize the nature of electric field. Now turn towards the electric flux. So electric flux, it is the number of lines of force per unit area. Number of lines of force per unit area is the intensity of the electric field. So that E, intensity, E is equal to number of lines of force per unit area, that is divided by area enclosing the lines of force. So this, they have given area over here and area is S. So number of lines of force E into area, when the area is inclined at an angle theta with the direction of electric field. Direction of electric field is this one, and this area is inclined by an angle of theta. The electric flux can be calculated as follows. Let the angle between electric field E and area vector ds be theta. Angle between electric field E and area vector ds is theta. Area vector, we have to consider small area of this portion, so it is ds. then its angle between them is theta. Then d phi, here phi will denote the electric flux. Phi, this sign of phi is electric flux, is equal to component of ds along E into area of ds. So component of ds along E is E, and area of ds is given by ds into cos theta. So further solving, it will give d phi electric flux is equal to E into ds into cos theta. Now here, what is d phi and ds? It is the smallest area. ds, it is smallest area which we are going to consider. For that smallest area, what will be electric flux? That will be again small, so it is given by d phi. So d phi is equal to E into ds. Then for this is for small area which we are considering as ds. Out of all area is S. Whole area is S. Smallest area which we are considering ds. Then its electric flux will be d phi. Then total flux through the entire surface will be phi, and its sum will get denoted by the integration. Sum, that means total area. As I said, small area which we are considering, it is ds. Then addition of like small areas will be S, and addition of such a electric flux d phi will be phi. Then its addition is shown by the integration. D phi is equal to integration, surface integration, E into ds equal to E into S. Integration of ds is given by S. So it is vector S. Then the SI unit of electric flux can be calculated using this. Phi is equal to, unit of electric field is volt per meter, and unit of area S is meter square. So SI unit of electric flux is given by volt meter. So everyone got these 2 points: electric lines of force and electric flux. So go through its characteristics. These are important part. Thank you.